You're listening to Copy Chief Radio. Get all the episodes and join the community at copychief.com.
Good morning. I'm going to read you today my latest sales letter. And I thought to do this for a couple of reasons. One is because this is a show about copywriting. We're copywriters, most of us. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about my process of writing a sales letter a little bit, because everybody's is unique to some degree. And whenever I sit down to write a new sales letter from scratch, it always strikes me how much the process has advanced, and even more so, how much it's stayed the same in my 20 years of writing sales letters. Couple notes of interest potentially are that I am still a relentless editor, meaning I tend to edit as I write. And I do not recommend this. If if you are the kind of person who can outline a sales letter, get the beats down before you even write any body copy, do that. I think it's a better, certainly more efficient process. And if you work with teams, if you are in a situation where you have a chief and potentially even co-writers, that's going to be essential to the process that you have an outline first, and everybody agrees on that before you get into the meat. But I'm a meat eater, I guess, and what I do is I sort of have to loop on ideas. Get an idea for what I want to write, and I harass everybody in my world by talking it out with them, people on my team, my wife, even friends and family, my kids. I had my daughter read an early draft of this sales letter for me because she's 17. And it's like, if it can hold her attention, I'm always reminding her, like, do not be polite. I don't want to hear anything about it's well written, or, it's just, does it lose you? Does it confuse you? Does it bore you? Does any of it sound far-fetched? The Cub rule, right? Is it confusing, unbelievable, or boring? Those are the three killers. So anyway, that is kind of how I write. It starts in my head. I talk it out, and then I start writing, and I go until the thought is complete, and then I go back and I edit that section. That's just how I do it. So I'm just going to start reading, and because another thing that is so important for copywriters, and I don't think I can tell because I critique a lot of copy, and we hold all kinds of fun challenges inside a Copy Chief. And I'm always reminding people, you have to read your copy aloud before you ever submit it for review, because you will catch so many things that don't sound right or are a little confusing, right? It just can't happen all in our heads. I've been saying for a while now that people have asked me, what is copywriting? And, that's a big question, right? But what copywriting to me ultimately is, in its function, it is a two-way conversation driven by one side. Right? Think about that. When we're sitting and writing, we need to do the best we can to make sure that the person who reads it will feel like they're part of the conversation. They're there with us. That's why we use the ellipses like we do. That's why we sometimes will have two words as a line with ellipses and then a space and then the rest of the thought. It's because that's how people talk in real life in a conversation. It's sloppy. It's starts and stops. And obviously in like the final version, you're not going to have like little asides and things like that. But it's good copy is meant to mimic a two-way conversation for the reader as much as possible. They need to feel like they're part of the conversation. And you do that by leaving gaps for them to stay in time with you and fill in their thoughts on what you're saying. Sometimes you want them to be calling bullshit on purpose. And sometimes you really need them to be nodding their head and agreeing. To me, that's the craft, that intimacy. And, it's different for different mediums, right? Like you wouldn't write at the same pace for a social media post or media ad that you would for a sales letter or an email. Email is super intimate. You want to assume that you have the best of their attention you're going to get because it's an intimate medium. Sales letters are also pretty intimate. Via sales, that's why video sales letters are so effective, is because we get to literally control the pace of how the information is received. And if we can get and hold somebody's attention during that, that's the closest thing we're ever going to get to face as far as the pacing and the intention, and nothing gets lost, right? So those are some thoughts about the process and the intent of copywriting that I hope you find useful. And now I'm just going to start from the top and read to you I'm going to try not to stop, because what's going to happen is I'm going to catch some things, because this is the first time I'm reading all this aloud. And it's not a complete sales letter. I'm not going to go into I haven't written yet the close, the official recap, and here's the offer. There's still a few details for me to fill in, but you'll get the idea where it's going and what I'm doing. I'd say the first 2/3 are pretty well tight and edited for the intent I'm going after here. So we start with the eyebrow here, and this is, by the way, a long deck, a John Carlton style deck. I'm breaking the rule of the critical information being above the fold in regards to like the full offer, the full proposition, the big promise is not going to make it above the fold in this particular sales letter. And you'll see, Carlton was famous for this. He would just start writing and telling you what you need to know and be tons of urgency, but it's not fitting above the deck, above the fold. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just see the above the fold and know what's being proposed. So, all right, here we go. At the top. An urgent warning for freelancers concerned about 2024. Following OpenAI's, Elon Musk, and Amazon's stunning November AI announcements, we have reached a crucial crossroads for the future of copywriting. The November updates confirm only 2 types of copywriters will exist in the coming year: the bots and the best. The bots will replace all but the best, and the best, if they're fast, will thrive like never before by providing the critical human element to sales campaigns. That's why for 2 days in December, I'm hosting an emergency strategy session broadcasting live from the studio in Tampa, where I will demonstrate the bot best hybrid model that has become the new standard in direct response. Then, together, you and I will create your own personal playbook for becoming a best-in-category copywriter before 2024 even begins. That means more work with better clients at higher pay if you know how to position your new and existing skills to meet the greatest human element copy demands next year. Join me and my elite team of A-list coaches for the Copywriting Crossroads Summit, December 6th and 7th, 2023, broadcast live online. Spend 2 days with me and you will lead the field in 2024. This is not just information. This is a live hands-on coaching event. Over 2 days together, you and I will review the best human element copy categories that will increase in demand for 2024. Choose where you can specialize based on your existing experience and natural abilities. Meet best-in-category copywriters who are leveraging the hybrid model to absolutely thrive in the new standard. Meet the companies and clients who are hiring human element copywriters to bring their campaigns to life. Customize your 111-day action plan to stay in demand starting in December and propelling you throughout the new year. Join now, only $2.99. Hey, it's Kevin Rogers here. Look, you and I have both watched this trend unfolding all year long. Established copywriters considered experts in their specialties are leveraging their experience, embracing change, and riding a revenue renaissance in their careers, while the fence sitters, posers, and copy gossips quietly fade from existence in search of a new field in which to play pretend. As we enter 2024, we no longer need to ponder, as we did at this time last year, what the future holds for copywriting. The future has arrived, and the options are crystal clear. Either move over before you are run over by advancing machine learning technology, or become the specialist human element that guides advancing technology into our new copywriting reality. You don't need to be a programmer, engineer, or data nerd because your new unfair advantage in copy is being human. But to leverage your humanity in this unique time in marketing history, you must become the kind of specialist that supplies what the language models cannot. Things like emotion, relevance, story, strategy, and yes, selling. See, I've spent this entire year meeting privately with top expert marketers and copywriters in our industry. I was on a single mission to learn what the best are doing to stay ahead of AI and machine learning, and the answer is simple. The best copywriters are even more coveted, i.e. highly compensated, for the same work they've been doing all along. The difference is that their process is now fueled by the power of AI tools. So they're doing less of the actual writing and spending more time providing the selling psychology and messaging strategy. Yes, savvy copywriters are essentially being paid to chief the bots. This means that right now, human element copywriters are in high demand for their ability to communicate, connect, and convert in ways that the bots cannot. To take the 60 to 80% of usable, often even good, copy that advanced AI language models can provide and humanize it so it resonates with, actual people, the ones with the needs, desires, and wallets. Chiefing bot copy is a really good gig, and the need for it will only increase as more and more companies embrace AI and quickly discover its limitations. However, this also means that a lot of people currently calling themselves copywriters will be replaced by large language models next year. This is the copywriting crossroads at which we stand. It's time to redefine what it means to be a copywriter in 2024 and beyond. A copywriter is no longer a page filler that does information-based articles and posts, a title writer that does social posts, videos, podcasts, and taglines, or a content writer, provider, who does blog posts, podcast show notes, and SEO. A copywriter going forward is a researcher seeing beyond the data and engaging in dialogue, storyteller, finding and telling nuanced stories relevant to the customer, a strategist, planning campaigns with real-time marketing conditions, a resonator, guiding voice of brand and the human voice behind the brand, a connector, engaging as a human with the market to understand core desires, a converter, utilizing know, like, trust, and urgency to convert the sale. Think of it like this. If what you do is a nice to have for your clients, meaning it serves a purpose but does not make sales, then that work has a fast approaching expiration date. There is simply no more middle ground, no more good enough, no more getting by. It's time to turn pro or go home. And it doesn't matter whether you choose to specialize in email copywriting, landing pages, video sales letters, webinars, media ads, or any other established funnel assets. What matters is that you are able to drive strategy and optimize output from AI. It also doesn't matter how long you've been working in or studying the craft of copywriting. Everyone learns at a different pace. I know copywriters with less than a year in the game who outperform legends on the regular. If you get it, you can make it. Copywriting is a team sport, yes, but it's made up of individuals. Just like football or baseball, the best at their positions are responsible for the win in any given game. They are specialists at their positions. Now it's time for you to become that same kind of specialist. So if you are smart, hungry, and dedicated, the odds are in your favor, but time is not on your side. Plain facts. There is no more time for taking the next hot course that will surely flood the market in January. No more hoping a miracle mega prompt is going to provide the hack you need. No more praying that the next version of ChatGPT is going to save you. Here's what you must understand today. AI is being incorporated into almost every software, search engine, marketplace, and social media platform, but most people, including many so-called copywriters, do not understand what this means. For the average person, it may appear these advancements are making their lives easier. But for the copywriter, someone whose earnings are based upon creativity, it means if you use mainstream AI solutions right out of the box, you risk sounding like, behaving like, and ultimately becoming a bot. If you don't understand how to best use any of these technologies and optimize the inconsistent and reliable outputs, you are giving up your competitive edge. If you are not able to use your human creativity to optimize AI results, you risk being overlooked and replaced by a lesser quality but more tech-savvy person. My biggest takeaway from an 8-hour think tank with 19 of the best copywriters in the world. There's a photo of me sitting around this table. There's a caption underneath, the Copy Legends Lock-In event hosted by Todd Brown, October 2023. Read on to hear how a non-guru stole the show. And there's a circled photo of a guy at the table. If you're in the know, you've probably seen and heard a lot about this exclusive gathering. The videos are now selling for $3,000. And yes, the tactics shared there were very good. But right now, I'm going to tell you the most important thing I learned that day after immersing myself with the very best in the business. The number one thing for you to understand since ChatGPT crashed the gates of copy world last November is that the top companies using direct response marketing to drive their sales have all come to the same conclusion. The bots are amazing for many things like general research, testing automations, and content creation. But when it comes to selling, they fall painfully short. That's because they cannot communicate in a way that connects like humans can. They are data machines, not dialogue directors. They are analytical, not strategical. They are clever, but not crafty. This is not my opinion. This was the consensus of every top-level expert in the room. So what does that mean for copywriters? It means that the ultimate solution to these limitations is a hybrid of bots for idea generation and creative grunt work, plus human element copywriters for strategy, connection, and conversion. This is very good news because finally, the right people in our industry are being rewarded while the dead weight is being tossed aside. That may sound harsh coming from good old Papa Kev, but the stakes are the highest they've ever been in my 20 years in this business. And you know what? I'm not even mad about it because frankly, this is the cleansing our industry needs right now. For years, phony gurus have been selling direct response copywriting as a get-rich-quick biz-op scheme, and the influx of misguided opportunists has soured our entire industry to the world. It's time for us to reclaim our significance. Copywriting has never been a place for the half-hearted hobbyist. Copywriting is a calling. It's difficult, complex work, and we love it that way. Those who succeed in copywriting have earned the pride they feel in wearing the badge. People call us weird, and we say, thanks, we know. You have to be friggin' weird to love a craft you can never quite master, where every product of your relentless work can either make sales history or flop miserably, where the rules of compliance are constantly changing, yet the fundamentals of psychology stay the same, where anyone can claim expertise in our field, but results never lie. Which leads me to why a non-guru named Donnie French blew away the room at the Legends Lock-In. Google him and you'll find almost nothing aside from his job title on LinkedIn, where he is yet to post a single article. Direct response copy chief, performance golf. And there's a photo of Donnie's LinkedIn profile for proof. In fact, Todd Brown, one of the world's best marketers and the host of the Copy Legends Lock-In, didn't even know Donnie before the day of the event. It was Rich Schefren who insisted Todd invite Donnie, and soon all 18 other copy legends knew exactly why. See, Donnie is a copywriter and a copy chief, but like most of the best in our field, he does his work behind the scenes. There's a screenshot of what John Benson posted about Donnie after the lock-in event, or the caption that says, here's what legendary copywriter John Benson said about Donnie after the lock-in. He doesn't care about likes on social media, doesn't sell courses or post videos bragging about how he's crushing it. He spends his time and energy getting results. He spends millions every year testing strategies on all media platforms. Like the other best in our field, he wakes up every day with one simple obsession: beat the control. how the best clients view copywriting in 2024. At one point during the lock-in, we were discussing upsell sequences. Justin Goff, who was there, is the undisputed best at these. But get this, Donnie mentioned that he has spent at least $300,000 hiring copywriters to beat Justin's upsell sequence. And he had never met Justin before that day either. Now, mad respect to Justin for being so bulletproof on upsells. However, the part of that statement that nearly knocked me off my chair was the fact that a true marketer like Donnie thinks nothing about investing $300,000 to improve just one part of a funnel. Let that sink in. He's just one guy from one company in one niche, happily forking over this kind of money for better copy. So you can bet he's fully aware what the bots can do and using them for all they're worth. On the flip side, he is also extremely aware of their limitations and will spare no expense to fill the gap. Are you seeing the sheer size of the opportunity here? If you're feeling scared about the future of copywriting in the age of AI, it's because you haven't been paying close enough attention, or you've been playing the game too small. I say this with respect. I'm also saying it as loudly as possible because we are at this crucial crossroads. So let me say it again. 2024 can easily be your best year in copywriting if you have the right plan and follow it fearlessly. My mission with this summit is to give you that plan and the confidence you need to make it happen. Okay, I'll stop there. And then I go into the price and why the price is low and how I've kept it low, for instance, by not having affiliates to pay. There's no travel, meals, lodging. It's all virtual. There are no upsells. And I say, sorry, Justin, after you purchase. That's important to note too. Things that sometimes, I know I've been guilty of this, that I don't put in the copy that people need to know or they're wondering about, right? I mean, think about it. When we click purchase, it's like we just sit there and wait for the onslaught of upsells. Another thing Carlton used to say that I loved, he would always say, when we've convinced somebody that what we have is what they need, we've created a whole new problem for them, right? In a sales letter. Now they have to face all the emotions of purchasing, right? The trust and what's going to come next and how much is this actually going to cost me, So that's why I took this opportunity in the copy to say, just $299 one time, that's all you will pay. There's no upsell, there's nothing else to buy. That's what I'm proposing to you. No surprises after you click. This is not a trick. This is because the whole thing I want to get across, because it's very real in the sales letter, is the urgency of this moment. This is no joke. This is 20 years I've been in this business. I've been making a living with words since I was 18 years old. Right? Comedy and then copywriting. Isn't it crazy? I'm 53 right now. Since 18, I've been making my living with words. So I'm the last guy in the world that wants computer generated words to have any value in the real world. But I can't change that. It's here. It's happening. But thankfully, what I have discovered through these conversations, and I've literally spent the last 6 months in rooms with legends of our business, the best of the best, the Donnie Frenches, people we don't know who are behind the scenes, and people like John Benson and Jeff Walker in Paris Lampropolis. Everybody is at the same consensus. It is a hybrid. And so, man, I'm shouting this as loud as I can and go, forget everything else. Everybody's going to try to sell you some solution. We're marketers being marketed to by marketers all the time. And everything sounds good and important is designed to make you feel like I got the answer for you. It's just not good. It's not that way. There's not one software. There's not one course that you can buy that's going to have your back and magically change your fate. It's going to be a process. That's why there's a 111-day plan that we're walking people through during this event, because it's critical. Everybody has 90-day plans that start January 1st, right? And that's not going to work with this. We need that 21 days before 2024 arrives to have our head straight and be in position to execute our plan starting on day one in January 1st or 2nd, right? So that's what this is about. It's something that I'm clearly very passionate about, I think is incredibly urgent. And now, my big challenge is to explain this clearly and loudly and get as many people as I can to trust me, to show up for 2 days online and let me show them what's happening and how they can get in front of it and take massive advantage of it. There really is an incredible opportunity here. I'll be joined by my business partner, Rob Tillman, who's a former aerospace executive and a computer master, a technical master. I mean, this guy literally buys every single program that comes out, and he can go behind the curtain and see exactly what they're doing. And so he's been engineering a way to reverse all the risks of all those other attempts, all those other frameworks, all those other APIs that ultimately are just the nice little dashboard on top of OpenAI or Bard or whatever. And that means they're always at the mercy of what those systems are doing. And the only way to combat that is to create your own working knowledge base that feeds from the best of those systems, but also keeps your output from going off the rails. That's the hard work. That's the challenge. Rob is proving it can be done. But trying to get people to understand that with all the confusion and the information and the shiny objects that are being thrown at them is a big challenge. But I'm up for it and I'm excited about it. And I hope this has been helpful for you. I'd love for you to come read the finished sales letter. It'll be done and polished up by the time you hear this at copychief.com/crossroads. Of course, I'd love for you to join me on December 6th and 7th at this event. I'm going to give you everything I've got over 16 hours. Less than that, we're going 10 to 4. So that's 6 hours, 12 hours. Give me 12 hours and I will make you feel a whole lot better about what we're going into. And if you don't know the things I'm going to share and we're going to share and coach you through during this event, you're at the mercy of everything else out there. And most people, unfortunately, don't think have the same intentions as we do when it comes to just giving you what you need. They're really just, everybody's, looking to make a quick buck. And when that moment fades, they'll create another reason to create a quick buck and it'll just go on and on and on. So I'm here for you. I have your back. You know me. If you trust me, I hope to see you on December 6th and 7th because, man, this is important. This is a big moment. All right. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. And I'd love to hear from you and how you liked this episode. All my best. Talk soon. Bye.
Hey, don't forget your goodies. Head over to copychief.com/copychiefradio to get some great free stuff to help you put the things you hear on the show into action for your business. copychief.com/CCR.